Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Host Fred Arnold on the Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight, joined by my good friend Joe Klocko.
Thanks, Fred. It's great to be here today.
Welcome to the show. Many of you know Joe. Joe is now the Dean of Economic Development Division for College of the Canyons.
Absolutely. It's all the company-facing organizations of the college, some of the pieces that people in the Valley may not normally think of the college providing services in that regard.
And it's most people think of college, right, Joe, and they think of the for-credit side of it. And this is actually helping businesses. You're not worried about getting credits. You're worrying about going to the next level in a business.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about the essence of the EDD.
So we've got several organizations, but we are all company-facing. The economic development, which generally speaking is to how do we make California companies more regionally, globally competitive. Regionally, if you're a little restaurant, you want to be locally competitive. If you're an aerospace company, you need to be globally competitive. So we work with companies of all sizes and types, service industries, manufacturers, and we try to help take them to the next level primarily by providing training to their employees.
And so let's talk about that. You provide training to your employees. A lot of those that are in a leadership role that assist the college are owners of business.
Absolutely.
Owners, leaders, retired leaders, current leaders, aren't they?
Absolutely. We've got of course, a lot of people here in the Valley that at one point in time went through COC, and got their associate's degree, perhaps went after bachelor's degrees. But there are quite a few people here in the Valley, including former folks that were on, say, CBS in LA, they went through COC. So the for credit side has produced a lot of great results. But if looking at what we do, we interface with companies either to train their employees, upskill them, or to provide training to folks that might be out of work that need to be reskilled and to become the great employee of a company here in the Valley in the future.
And I think it's important because not only do you need just a great education, I think you need those basic skills. So you went from one focus when you first started many years ago to I think 5 or 6 now.
Right.
I'm going to throw them out there and you could tell us. I'm going to talk about the Center for Applied Competitive Technology, the CACT.
Yeah, sure. The CACT, Center for Applied Competitive Technology, primarily focused on working with manufacturers. We provide some very unique trainings in the area of high-end computer-aided design, high-end computer-aided manufacturing, CNC machining, 3D printing, 3D laser scanning. So we're introducing leading-edge skill sets and, in some cases, leading-edge technologies to local companies to figure out how they can use it or how they can train their employees and upskill them so they can be more globally competitive.
Now, if my memory is right, and maybe I could be wrong, Joe, that was seeded by a local business here,
right?
Aerospace company,
right?
That really wanted to get some basic, not even some advanced training for young, and I say young, not age-wise, but young people in the business to be able to run their expensive multi-million-dollar machines.
That's exactly right, Fred. The CAT got started back in 1998 in a conversation with the local aerospace company. They needed individuals trained in this high-end CAD package. It's called CATIA. It was not being offered anywhere in the Valley. We signed up to do it. And it's been running ever since 1998, our CATIA training, and that's how the CACT Center was first started, with that in mind. And it's since expanded to newer things.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, I know another division you're in charge of is Employee Training Institute.
Yeah, so the Employee Training Institute primarily is the incumbent worker trainer from the college. Last year, we delivered 48,000 hours of training to individuals in this valley through their employer. We offer all different types of training, everything for a restaurant, customer service skills. For a manufacturer, we would deliver blueprint reading, geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. I know I'm getting a little technical here. All the way up to the moderate range CAD packages like Mastercam.
Yeah, and so what you're doing is you're helping train our employees, if you will, in business so they can be great employees. And we can compete. And the key on this, Joe, is so that we can compete with anybody regionally or globally.
Globally. And if you look at the aerospace companies here in the Valley, that global aspect is really important. Having come from the aerospace business, when you win the next job from Airbus in Europe or Boeing or Lockheed Martin or Mitsubishi in Japan or Embraer in Brazil, you know you were the most globally competitive in the world for that product. And that's what you've got to be to keep your business growing.
Yeah, be a world-class organization. Let's talk about another division, the Santa Clarita WorkSource Center.
Santa Clarita WorkSource Center, we actually operated under contract to the city of Santa Clarita. The WorkSource Center is focused on matching individuals who are out of work and looking for work, their skill sets, with companies that we work with who say, I need someone with these skill sets. On average, we have about 1,100 people come through the WorkSource Center every month. And we have a great track record at making that match. So instead of putting an ad on Google or some job posting board where you get 1,000 responses and you might have to go get 2 or 3 people you want to talk to, we do all that up front.
And
we screen the people,
them,
match them, and give them the top 5 candidates for what they need.
Love that. That's great. That's great. So another division, small business development. This is one of my favorites because almost every business starts as a small business.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's the sweet spot here. The Small Business Development Center, their sweet spot is startup companies and companies that are in the 15 to 50 person range. They provide a variety of free services funded through funded through the Small Business Administration, as well as funded by local companies and banks who are interested in seeing small company startups succeed because they know it's good for the economy.
Yeah, and it's also good for Santa Clarita Valley.
Absolutely, and they are very, very focused on that. Their service area is primarily the Santa Clarita Valley. We also that group goes up to the Antelope Valley and somewhat in the San Fernando Valley, but all their services are free. They've got 18 subject matter experts, consultants, whether you need to do a business plan, whether you need to figure out how to go get a loan, or whether you need to go figure out how to get capital from entrepreneurs and investment guys. Yeah.
We haven't even finished all of them. two more. And the information on communication technology and digital media. This is new.
Yeah, this. We've only been doing this for about a year and a half now. It's focused on information systems, information technology, digital media. And the really interesting part here is we also have another group at the college that does regional work for healthcare. The new and evolving item is health information management. So it's the marriage of information systems and health management. It's not the person doing coding, it is the person that makes sure when you and I, Fred, log on now to our new website over at Henry Mayo or wherever, and we can now access our records, it's how do they make that beautiful merger between healthcare and information technology.
Yeah. And that is so important because almost every business you go into, you walk in and there's iPads, you got to touch it and put in your information.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so there needs to be somebody that runs those. Last but not least, Center for International Trade Development.
Yeah, the CITD, as we call it, is really here to figure out how can our clients grow their business by exporting. The United States has a great reputation internationally. There's a great demand for products made in the USA outside this country. It's one of the big opportunities for people who have products that are exportable to really grow their business, figure out how they penetrate a market in a different country with a different culture, maybe with different packaging, et cetera, et cetera. So we go through and we give them all the introductions to what they need to do, how they need to go through the ports of Long Beach and LA, and really help them get their export plan up to speed and moving forward so they can grow sales in a different marketplace.
Well, Joe, all this takes great partnerships, right?
Absolutely.
And I know you've partnered with the city of Santa Clarita and so many others. Tell us about your partnerships.
So our key partners certainly, well, first of all, I'll say VIA. We're here at the VIA Hour.
Yes.
We've been part of VIA for many, many years. We work with the Chamber of Commerce. We have some on the Chamber Board. We work with, of course, the city's Economic Development Division. Jason and his crew over there do a great job in working with us. We work with the Santa Clarita Valley Economic Development Corporation, and we also work
EDC?
with the LA Economic Development Corporation, or EDC.
Yeah.
So we look out there and we figure out how do we partner with others to make our local companies more successful and to make doing business in this area more attractive.
And if you're a business out there, what a great resource, what a great opportunity for you to tap in, whether you're starting out for the first time, whether you're small or you're growing, it's there for you. Those that want to reach out, Joe, to your find out more information?
Of course, the Economic Development Division is on the college's website. My number is 661-362-3144.
That's the dean. The dean's giving you his direct number.
Call me. We'll get you pointed in the right direction and see how College of the Canyons Economic Development Division can help your business.
Great. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure,
Thanks for all you
Fred.
do. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Klocko, Dean of Economic Development Division for College of the Canyons. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Santa Clarita Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. Joe's Fred Arnold on AM 1220 KHTS.